Peace. Think fast. Just came up with a thought of like the fact that a tree could actually write a book. I know y'all think like, man, what he chewing? That must be some good stuff. He's what he's smoking on, but nah, peep this though. Like a tree could actually write a book. Or matter of fact, or any plant or anything in nature, in essence, could write a book. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean is, say for instance, we are vessels. Still to this point, a lot of us is human. Even I recently had to get this. You know what I'm saying? That we are vessels. Like, because at first, it's dealing with the law of attraction. Like, I am source, I am God. So let me manifest things. It's not necessarily like that. You know what I'm saying? It's more of letting the energy of source flow through you, so your desires could manifest. But you're not like really like boosh, boosh, boosh. Like that. But I thought about how a tree could write a book in the essence of, you ever heard of a story, say for instance, like somebody like, well, I sit under this tree, and that's why I got this inspiration to write this song, or, after sitting under this tree, or I was writing a book, but I would go sit, in this tree or in this area, but I'm talking about a tree, so I'm using that example, but in which I know you heard examples of people, like, because even me, like, my favorite spot is on campus, in front of the Union by the trees, you know what I'm saying? That's where I get my inspiration, in essence. But, what we call quote unquote inspirations, in essence, could be the vibrations of nature, channeling thoughts to us. So, while we sitting there as humans thinking, we smart, I got hands and I could pick up stuff and I'm conscious I could build a toilet and take a crap on it. I'm so smart. But yet we're out of whack with nature. But anyway, like that tree could channel those thoughts, you know what I'm saying, to us. And as we sitting there thinking like, oh yeah, all right, man, the energy working, like, boy, I'm creative, you know what I'm saying? In essence, that story could be coming directly from that tree, or directly from that plant, or whatever it is, directly from nature. So as much as we sit here, matter of fact, as authors and as, inventors and things of this nature, because even, matter of fact, speaking of inventors, you know what I'm saying, you could say the actual peanut is the reason why we got all the things from George Washington Carver, and not because of him. You know what I'm saying? The peanut allowed him to, be able to decipher, the language that it was speaking in. So he ended up being the one cracking that code and releasing that information out to the world. But that information came from the peanuts, literally. Like, as much as you think I'm, like, literally, like, what matter of fact, what we don't get is consciousness comes from everything, as far as like nature, like the rocks. Matter of fact, one of my crystals could write one of my books, or, what I'm saying, or could be the influence behind my words and actions, you know what I'm saying? And well, like, and it ain't nothing but just sitting there, quiet. Cause another thing too, how we say, like, all right, if a person is blind and they could hear good, things of this nature. Or you know, if I can't hear, then I could see good. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we lose one sense and then the other heighten. Well, what if things that can't move have stronger influences of consciousness? You know what I'm saying? And that's their, like, for them not being able to move, their influence of consciousness is much stronger than something that can move, and, and throw their consciousness around everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, that's why I like the movie The Happening also, you know what I'm saying? I think it's the name of it. I think it's Mark Wahlberg in it. But basically, like, everybody committing suicide, so they think. But what's really happening is the trees got fed up of humans taking over things, and so, they started releasing a pheromone, some type of toxin that would make people commit suicide, in order to decrease the population, because it was too much it was too much pollution, just too much of humans messing up stuff. And matter of fact, speaking on that, not to get way off subject, but just dealing with nature, I just read a story about how killer whales are trying to knock over fishing boats. You know what I'm saying? Because the fishing boats then took so much of the fish. Like, they like, damn, we got a jack for fish now, you know what I'm saying? Which it shows the personification of not necessarily as above, so below, but more of the parallels of nature. Like, what we dealing with as humans, in which that is like it's a human and animal interaction, but but what we deal with is human to human interactions, like like where if the government keep messing over us, like say for instance people in what we call the hoods, you know what I'm saying, where in which unknowingly we have the illusion of thinking we gotta steal and do all this to come up. And the same thing with the with these wells, it's like, bro, y'all taking all the fish, man. We gotta jack the fish back from y'all now. You know what I'm saying? And it reminds me also of Tupac saying like how at first we nice like, could you please feed us? And then after you keep on starving, it's like, please, we're gonna get louder. We just wanna eat. To can we please eat? To I'm picking the lock, getting the food. You know what I'm saying? Like we go from asking first, we asking, and they turn into having to turn the boats over. You know what I'm saying? Like in the case of the killer whales. You know what I'm saying? But back to the main point though, where nature influencing our actions. Matter of fact, and that's the real teachers with DMT trip. Matter of fact, in which I'm gonna do a video on DMT and psychedelics alone and my experiences with it. But like in most cases, especially dealing with mushrooms, like that's who you're talking with and dealing with is the Devic Kingdom, but mostly like the plants and everything. That's who like teaching you the lessons in essence. Especially like on mushrooms now when DMT you like the whole macrocosm and microcosm of the universe. But like dealing with the mushrooms, that's the trees dropping you knowledge. That's the plants. That's the grass you laying on, talking to you and giving you information. You know what I'm saying? So when you think, you're just this smart human that's just thinking up everything, and like it's just all you, it's just all your consciousness. You're absolutely completely wrong, like 100% wrong. Like is a fact. That the energy, you know what I'm saying, of Earth, of Mama, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing you be talking to too during trips of dealing with mushrooms, mostly psilocybin in essence. But it's all consciousness. It's all one being. Matter of fact, and I'm about to end on that note, but too, I thought about an episode with a Green Lantern. It was like a Green Lantern movie, and it was talking about this last Green Lantern, like a last actual Green. I don't know if they would call themselves Green Lantern, but like each Green Lantern person or hero would have a little ring, but they would bullcorn about one that wasn't social and never be around. But come to find out that that actual Green Lantern or that hero was a whole planet. You know what I'm saying? So a whole planet, was an actual Green Lantern. You know what I'm saying? And again, you know what I'm saying, showing you the personification of that everything has consciousness. Like my stones, my crystals, like could easily, influence me to write a book, to go outside. Matter of fact, to make me get naked in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not Carl Ray, the human being, the egotistical human being, saying, "Hey, I want to get naked in the woods today." No, that was like the energies and the vibrations of the Devic Kingdom and the nature spirits and animal guides and just everything just coming together and influencing me, until I actually went through with the actions of it. Same thing with darker energies outside of nature, you know what I'm saying? If you into that world of being depressed and getting into negative activities, then you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be influenced by those lower vibrations. So even though you thinking it's your actions, it's kind of like those vibrations pulling you further, further. Like the little voice that's like, oh, he passed by, you stepped on your toe, fight him. You know what I'm saying? Like those vibrations is influencing you. So as much as you think is your actions in those cases, it's a lot of just the vibration influencing your actions. We are vessels. A matter of fact, that's where the super Christians, it's like, oh, I'm a vessel for the Lord and all that. You know, that's where they don't seem crazy at. You know what I'm saying? You got to give them kudos and some of the things that, that some of the Bible thumping Christians believe in. They got a few things, you know what I'm saying? Like we all got a little bit, or let's say the religions all got a little bit of right, you know, a little bit right. But that's one of the things where like you could say, all right, you right. We are vessels. Now, of course, they don't understand the fullness of it. They think, oh, the trees. Oh wait, hold on, that's not God. God didn't create a tree. But whatever. But trees can write books. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right now.